It is January the 3rd, 2020. So where are you with your 2019 health goals? Are you just making another New Year's resolution and in hopes of making it happen? If so, put your favorite emoji below and let me know. There are a lot of claims that are made in the health and wellness industry about lifestyle change and long-term transformation, long-term success. Well, today, we get to visit with someone who has actually experienced that long-term transformation. If we haven't met yet, I'm Karen Fisk. I am founder of Health Trekking with Karen, where we offer tips, coaching, and encouragement to those who are on their journey to optimal health. In April of 2017, I found myself at I was at my maximum weight at the end of a struggling family health season. And I knew that I had to make some changes. And I went to work, and over the next 7 months, lost 60 pounds. And as a result of that experience and the success that I had there, it was in September that I chose to get my training and become a certified health coach and pay that gift forward, and have been doing that ever since. And there's really two things that I love the most about doing that. And one is having the opportunity to watch other people as they change their life, as they change their whole health and become the best version of themselves. The other thing that I love about that coaching is the community and the involvement that we're able to have there, and to get to know more people really all over the country. So today I have the opportunity of bringing to you one of my friends, Kevin Klar. Kevin and I met through our coaching connection here. He and his wife, Melanie, have been coaching for a number of years now. I understand she's a little on the downside today, having some health issues, just under the weather. So she's not able to join us. But good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great.
Happy
New Year.
How's the weather out there? It's cool here, but not too cold.
It's beautiful here today. They have a saying, it's a beautiful day in Marin County. And that's what it is today. So we're pleased with that,
Awesome.
So now I couldn't ride in the convertible in Tennessee in January with the top down. So I can do that here. That's a good thing.
Wow.
So Kevin, tell us a little bit about you and your family, and really where you're coming from, what your background is.
So let's see. So I am a firefighter by trade. I'm actually off right now on injury. I've injured my shoulder. So that's hence the facial hair. And we have four beautiful kids, and we've been married 30 plus years. And we've been doing the health coaching were exposed to this whole thing about 4 or 5 years ago. So that's a little bit about us.
Okay. Well, and I think there's a little guy in your world too, isn't there?
Oh, first grandson is about a year old, and they're in Santa Barbara. And then my second granddaughter is coming in March or April in Colorado. So we're super excited about that.
Yeah, so your world's really turning right now then, isn't it? Yeah. That is so cool. I love that. So tell me a little bit about where you were before you found our health program.
So I was almost 50. I think I was like 49, and just a few months I would be turning 50. And my weight was getting heavier. I was always an exerciser, but was putting on a few pounds every year, it seemed like. And now I was pushing my heaviest weight ever, about 205. And I did, unbeknownst to me, she didn't ask me, probably should have, but she didn't ask me. Melanie found this program with a friend of hers who had lost a similar weight as you. And she said, "What are you doing?" And she tried it. And so I thought, all right, another one of those programs. She's tried a bunch of them. This is just another one of those programs. So she gets on and gets involved and starts doing it. And every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm hearing this shriek, "Eek!" from the other room. And I was like, what? She says, I'm down again. And then about, I don't know, a couple of weeks or maybe 2 or 3 weeks into it, one morning, she goes into the bathroom, she does her thing, and she comes out and there's no shriek, no shrill excitement, nothing. I'm like, "Oh, so you put on a pound or two, huh?" She says, "No, I'm just getting used to it."
I love it.
So she
became a way of life.
and she had lost 15 or 18 pounds at that time, and I think ultimately she lost like 30 pounds. But I thought, well, man, this has been pretty easy. It didn't upset our lifestyle. It didn't change that much. It was pretty simple to do. So I thought, I'm going to give this thing a shot. I mean, it seemed pretty doable. I was in an office setting. I was managing firefighters. And so I was struggling with meals and doing that stuff because I was in an office and there wasn't stuff available. So in a lot of ways for me at the time, it made a lot of sense. I was heavy as well. So jumped on the program.
Do I recall you maybe had some blood pressure issues as well or something like
that? And I
did.
Because of the weight gain, my cholesterol and stuff was a little on the high side, and my blood pressure was a little on the high side. It wasn't super high, but the doctor did say, we can give you some. And my knowing it's in my family, I told the doctor at the time, I said, you know what, let's just start on a low dose, because I know my family history has a history of higher blood pressure. So I said, let's just start on a lower dose. So that was another reason, I thought, well, maybe if I lose the weight and do all this stuff, it'll help. And oh man, did it help. I mean, my blood pressure dropped, my lipid profile on my blood work went totally normal. And when I went in that next physical, which was in a few months from then, because remember I started in like April. So my physical's in June. It's on our birthday month. When I went in on my birthday month, the doctor couldn't believe it. He's like, I was like 13% body fat and my blood lipids were fine. He says, wow, you look amazing. So it was pretty incredible and pretty fun for sure. And
that
it was
is great. Of course,
that was the biggest thing. Super easy.
Yeah, well, of course, we can't make any guarantees on any of that blood work or blood pressure issues, but we certainly do see predictable results as people are on our program and have the weight loss and see improvement in that, and their type 2 diabetes tends to see a real improvement as well on our program. So that's exciting. That's really the thing we look for the most is the health improvement, not just the weight loss and the inches, but just the improvement in lifestyle and health as well. So how did you found the program through your wife? She was doing it and you decided to join her. So since then, in addition to the weight loss, tell me about, this was 4 years ago. So you have managed to keep it off long term. What are some of the things that you learned on our program that you've implemented that have maybe promoted that lifelong change?
Right. So I think a big piece of this is the community. So because my wife and I were doing it and we'd made some friends that were doing it together, we could kind of do this journey together. So that was a big piece for sure. Also, they have a book and a workbook. So you're kind of working through this, trying to reprogram your mind. Because what I realized right away is that I wasn't eating right. Even though I was a kind of a healthy, fit kind of a guy, I wasn't really eating the right stuff all the time. And we all know that we're supposed to eat 6 times a day, but I couldn't figure out how to do that. That just wasn't really doable. And so hence the weight gain. And then of course, all of our stuff seems like it revolves around potatoes or rice or something like that. So those are always the big portions of what you're getting, and bigger portions. The firehouse tends to serve big portions. And, like if they'll have steak, it's a pound a guy, kind of a thing. I mean, it's a lot, big portion. So I started to realize that I could operate, and I would operate more efficiently and effectively. I had more energy when the portion size was smaller and the meals were more frequent. So, and they took all the problems out of it because they provided most of that stuff. So I only had to really think about the one meal a day, and the rest of it was all kind of provided. Man, was it simple. And so I started to incorporate that, not only, because it only took me 2 months really to get down to where I wanted to be. And then I had to think about how do I incorporate this long term. And so this community and this workbook and the premise, the tenets of the program, which is those 6 meals a day, kind of maintaining that and smaller portion sizes, and then increasing the activity, right? Because now that I'm feeling better, I'm more willing to do more. And my energy was steady through the whole day. I didn't have to take that afternoon nap. I mean, there was all these things that were happening that were like, okay, I want to keep this going. How am I going to keep this going? But the final piece was I started helping Melanie, who had told some friends and they wanted her to coach. I started helping her coach some of my buddies at the fire station and other friends. My brother was one of them. He saw me and his words, if that knucklehead can do this, I can do this.
As only a brother can say, right?
Exactly. So he
That's
jumped on
great.
and I helped coach him. And like I said, that helps hold me accountable. So all these little pieces kind of fall into place. And next thing you know, it's pretty easy to maintain and create a lifestyle.
So you mentioned that you and Mel, just like myself, are so appreciative of the gift and the life change that we experienced. You chose to pay it forward. You too went through the training and have become a certified health coach as well. So how has that, beyond just holding you accountable and having the community for that purpose, what other changes have you and Mel experienced in your lives from the health coaching perspective? What has that offered you?
Yeah, well, okay, so the first thing it offered me, and we talked about it a little bit, was the accountability. But,
Hmm.
more than that, it was really cool to be helping people again. I came into the fire service to help people, and
Mm,
I really wasn't helping anybody. I was managing firefighters, and I was
yeah.
creating schedules and trainings and all this other stuff, but I wasn't really the end user going out there and helping. So this allowed me to kind of get back into this mode of really helping people, which I love to do. And I was not surprised, but there was a lot of people that came out of the woodwork, and some of them, needed to lose a lot of weight, and some of them were type 2 diabetics, and some of them, it was all over the map of what they had. And for the most part, we have been able to help hundreds of people uh, achieve their goals. I've helped over 100 firefighters, or my clients, and Melanie's hoped to help a couple hundred, and it's been absolutely incredible. And on a side note, they pay us to do this. It's
There
been
you go.
pretty incredible. It's been pretty incredible. It's been life changing. I mean, Melanie was able to quit a job that she had teaching and do this full
Mm,
time. And then I
wow.
kind of came alongside of her, and we were doing this, and it's just been a lot of fun and super rewarding on a lot of different levels. And definitely would encourage anybody that has the same experience. This is the icing on the cake. Health coaching is the icing on the cake for sure.
So you've got accountability and investing in other people and the financial. How do you do all that? Is this just not totally time consuming and just eating up every moment of your time if you're doing all of that? The
Well, no,
firefighting and the
it
coaching and
actually
the
is. It's pretty cool. So I told you about my kid in Colorado, so we can do this on the fly. It's pretty
hmm.
cool. I can do it, today in modern technology, text messaging and cell phones and stuff like that. So, most clients, if you're on this and you haven't ever started the program, just recognize your coach is going to touch base with you every day for the first week, but they're not going to touch you with base with you every day for the rest of your life. So, for both reasons, right? It's too much. But once we get the training wheels off and we get you to feeling like you understand the program, the tenets of the program, you can do it. We're going to check in with you and really catch up with life. Like, how are you
Mm.
doing? And how's your family? And, oh, by the way, and how are you doing on the plan? Oh, I'm down another 5 pounds or whatever. I just had a gal call me the other day. She's 6 weeks in. She's down 15 pounds, but she had a huge thing go on. Her father had a stroke, and they went through a whole bunch of medical family stuff. But she was so ecstatic because she was able to stick to the simple
Oh,
program
wow.
in the midst of really a big life thing. I mean, that's a huge deal when your dad is sick like that. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
super encouraging. And, again, I'm able to connect with her just periodically and just checking in like a friend, just being friends. And so
Yeah.
as I transition into retirement, this is helping me stay connected with the community of firefighters and friends that I have anyway.
Yeah,
That's pretty
and
cool.
that's just fun.
That
That's
is
just
pretty cool.
fun. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, so Kevin, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing that. I've got 2 questions I want to end with today, just to kind of get to know you a little better, maybe share a little info with our folks. The first one is, what is your favorite book? I know you're a reader and you're all about keeping abreast of everything that's going on. So tell me your favorite book.
Well, so the one that I've been using more and more frequently is called The Greatest Salesman, and it's by Og
Mm,
Mandino, and it's
that's a
pretty
good one.
good. It's like a self-help meditative, just kind of put you in the right frame of mind to start your day. But I also obviously, do my meditation and my own spiritual pursuits and quiet time and that kind of thing. But that's something that I've been doing, and I would highly recommend for those of you that are busy out there, Audible.
Mm,
Audible, Audible books. You can listen to it on the fly. You can listen to it at the gym. You don't have to spend the time
That
flipping
is
the
a
page.
good tool.
You may end up getting the actual book too, but it's really a pretty cool feature. And then, so that's kind of where I'm at with reading.
Okay, great. That is an awesome resource, a good tool. And the second question is, what's your favorite song? When you've got to just get her did and got to jump in there and make it
Yeah.
happen, what
So
runs through your
I'm
brain,
that,
or what do you
yeah.
crank up loud?
I'm that classic rock guy. It's the Eye of the Tiger. It's the Rush anthems. It's the, those kinds of things that I'm listening to. I don't have necessarily one particular song, but it's that rock anthem that I like, that when I'm in here and I'm trying to get it done in the office, I'm cranking up the tunes. And it's that 80s. For me, it's the 80s big hair, big
80s.
kind of rock.
Yeah, it wasn't quite this color when it was so big either, was it? So yeah,
Very
I
cool.
love it. Great. Well, Kevin, I appreciate your time today. This has been fun. And please tell Mel that we missed her and wish her over this flu bug or whatever it is she's dealing with. If you have heard something today that kind of sparks a thought or something that tweaks a bit of interest, I would encourage you, let us help you off the diet roller coaster. That place is no fun. We've been there, and we want to look at long-term health. We want to look at lifelong transformation, not just for your health physically, but for your family, for your time, for your financial freedom. We're there to encourage you in all those areas. So please feel free to reach out to me, leave a hashtag below and let me know where we can help you out with that. And also, please feel free to find my personal Facebook fan page, the Health Trekking with Karen. You're going to find some resources there that'll help you on your journey. And actually, on January the 7th, I'll be starting a series on healthy mindset. You heard Kevin mention how our program helps with mental transformation as well. That is such a key factor in the long-term change here. We're not just a diet program. I think that the phrase that I hear for that often is deprivation invading every thought, and that's not what we're about. We want to see you pursue health. So if you've heard anything that encourages you, I'd say just leave a comment below and let me know that, or find that page, and we're there to help you out. So again, Kevin, thank you again, and Happy New Year and healthy New Year. Thanks. Bye.
Awesome.